Hello, everybody. It's Bob Anderson, and it is February 23rd, 2023. I've got a trade that I want to present. It's a swing trade. It's not a trade that I necessarily will tell you to take if you're in an evaluation with a trailing stop and all that kind of stuff. But if you got a funded account or anything like that, this is a beautiful trade. And I nailed it today. I should have nailed it for 10 points more than I did, but I was so busy, I wasn't even managing my trade. But I did get 13 points on it. I should have had another 10. I'll show you that in a minute, what happened. But anyways, I call it the afternoon swing trade. And here's how it works. Conceptually, first off, let's talk conceptually. Conceptually, you have to have a consolidation day. So it's one of the days where the market may be north of the overnight open and then south of the overnight open. And then it's doing this little thing, wandering around and no direction. And y'all are messaging me pissed and because you can't seem to get a trade, yada, yada, yada. Well, what you need to have happen is you need to have price reach a peak low or a peak high normally, and then like in CL and oil, you need to get past 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this trade to set up, and you need to be past 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the ES to set up. Okay. So this is key. These are that's why they're afternoon swing trades. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, these are beasts. Y'all may remember I talked about the Hail Mary trade that I helped a trader who was $2,400 down on his PA funded account. And this is the trade I had him take for $2,700. Mine today, I made $1,000 on it. So anyways, so this is first off. It's got to be past these time frames. This is totally created trade by myself that I know of. Price must pierce the 5-minute red line and settle on the counter trend side. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And then when I'm going to write this stuff. I'm going to write this stuff down at the bottom of this video. But I'm going to draw you some examples as soon as I'm done here. And then I'm going to show you the trade I took today. I'm going to show you an example of it in oil earlier this week. I'm going to show you how this trade works, okay? Price must then respect that red line. You need to show if you're looking for price to go long, you need to show that when you break through that red line, because and price was coming down. Okay, the red line's coming down. You need to show that this is where the market wants to go. And then what it does is it comes back and it settles in that red line, and you just ride it up. I'm going to show you that. And then the trend, meaning when you enter this trade, whatever the trade is, it must be entered towards the overnight open. So if you're above the overnight open, you got to roll inside the red line. You got to settle in there, and then you have to take a short back to the overnight open. And then the reversal of if you're gonna go long, the overnight open needs to be north. You roll in. So I'm going to show you that here in a minute. And then for this trade to work, i.e., that it is a consolidation day. It's not a trending day. You really can't be that far from the overnight open. Like, it has to be reachable. So when you're getting ready to enter an ES trade, for example, when you go up inside the red line after 1 p.m., there needs to be about 30 points or less back to the overnight open. And then CL needs to be about 100 points, 100 ticks or less back to the overnight open. Okay? So, let's see here. And then less than 30, less than 100. All right, so let me do this. All right. Everybody got this? I'm going to put this at the bottom. All right. I only use this trade for 2 markets. Okay. Because I find that the 5 SMA is respected for this trade in those 2 markets. So here's what you got. Let's just say we're going to go for a long. So here's the overnight open right up here. Okay. Overnight. Okay. And then what you have, what you need to have is you need to have red line, you know, your 5-minute red line coming down. Okay. And then what you need is price, which I'm going to use just green for price. But you need price to have been pushed down, and then start stair-stepping its way back. You know, and it's going to hit your 5-minute gold line, maybe get you 5 points, all that kind of stuff. But the key is, let's just say this is oil, okay? Key is you get to 12 p.m. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something interesting about this trade. It's really about 12:20. Not to be specific, but it's really about 12:20 that this thing really heats up for a trade. So anyways, so what happens is price comes down and does its thing, and then you look for, you know, how price will come up to that red line, and sometimes it will respect it. Okay, and it'll push it down, right? So let's just say it does push it down, but then it reverses and it blows through, because you got these pivots here. That price blew through. Now, if you haven't learned anything from me yet, then you need to learn this. Price has a hard time running away from moving averages. They have a tendency to converge back together. Okay, but this right here, this movement right here, that's sign 1. Sign 2, you're past 12 p.m. Sign 3, you have a big move down away from the overnight open, and let's just say this is $76 here, and let's just say this is $75.10 right here. Okay, so what you're going to look for is got to be patient. This is a patient freaking trade. You gotta, and it doesn't always work, because sometimes this sucker will just run off. Okay, and if it does run off, then I would wait for the 5-minute gold line to catch up to it and then hit it then. Okay, if it runs off, but most of the time it won't. At 12 o'clock, at 12:20, it'll settle. I'll show you some examples of that. So so you broke these pivots to your left. You broke through this 5-minute red line with authority. Okay? So now what you're looking for is you're looking for price to come back down and rest on that red line. Okay? And then what's going to happen is, since the orange seems to be gold today, your 5-minute gold line should be coming along and coming right up along in here and helping you. And it's when these lines start converging that you need to start looking for an entry. And what you're looking for is you're looking to take a trade from somewhere down in this area all the way to here. And I know you're sitting there going, Bob, you're crazy. You drink too much. What are you doing? Why? That's why you haven't done a video in so long. You're too busy getting drunk. No, I'm not too busy getting drunk. I wish I was, but I'm not. So, what you're looking for is so another element, remember, a main element is price needs to respect. Once it breaks inside that 5-minute red line, it needs to respect that 5-minute red line. Doesn't have to respect your 1-minute gold line. It doesn't have to respect your 5-minute gold line, but it needs to respect that 5-minute red line for this trade to continue to build energy. Okay? Because what's going to happen is this downward move of price is going to start flattening and then hopefully pulling up, because this will start cycling up. And then what you'll find is when it breaks this area right here, it just goes like that. Parabolic. I'm going to show it to you today. And all of a sudden, your P&L is just going, whoop! So, I know it looks like a 4-year-old did this, but but this is it. And I have called this trade to a couple traders that are subscribers in this. I have called this exact trade more than once. And they have messaged me back an hour later, what the hell? How did you know that? And today, this is the only trade I took in the ES because I had no time this morning to take any trades. And I should have hit it for 23 points. I only got 13. And that's because of what I just said. I had it sitting up here at 13, my target. And then I got, again, into another conference call and whatnot, and I wasn't even paying attention. And like I said, when it breaks out of this area right here, it's gone, even the ES. And it just blew right through my target. I should have had my target sitting up here. But I just didn't trust it. I don't trust myself. So anyways, this is the afternoon swing trade. It's a beautiful trade. It's a beautiful trade. In oil, it can easily make you 80 ticks, $1. In the ES, it can make you 20 plus points when it sets up. It doesn't set up as much in the ES as it sets up in oil, in my opinion. But today it set up absolutely beautiful in the ES. Back to the reason this happens. Okay, I probably forgot that part. The reason this happens is because as the day goes on, you had the traders playing their reindeer games, pushing it out of here, stealing people's money and whatnot. They start losing energy and they start reversing out of their positions to close out for the day. You know, I call it going back to equilibrium. That's why, for example, today's market closed, ES market, only 5 points. 5 points from the overnight open. Now, who knew that was going to happen? This guy right here. Because I saw changes to 1, for example, in ES. I saw this exact situation happen right here. That exact situation happened in the ES. I'll tell you when it happened. That exact situation happened in the ES at 102. 102. 102. I mean, it's a little bit after 1. A little bit. What time did the one in oil happen? The one in oil yesterday or the day before, 12:24. I said 12:20. I mean, 4 minutes. What's 4 minutes among friends? So anyways, I'm going to show you my ES trade. And it's something for you to practice on. But if you can figure out what I'm talking about when you break in and get inside the opposite side of the SMA, after 1 o'clock in the ES and after 12 in oil, and you see it respecting that ES, then you can put yourself in a situation where you can enter and you're looking for that target. When I enter this trade, I give myself 3-point stop minimum. And then I look for these bigger pivot points right here as my area to put my stop below. Okay? Expecting that to be the next hold, of your legs. You get what I'm saying? Okay? So here's the trade. I love this trade, but I tell you, just because I'm doing this video, please don't send me 50 email questions about this trade. Take what I'm telling you. I'm the guy with the fishing pole, and here's the bait to use, and this is the time of day to use that bait. Okay? Go learn it from there. Go practice it. Go back and look at your charts. Okay? Don't just randomly send me emails. I don't have time. I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't have time to answer 40 questions on this trade. Okay? But if you learn how to do this and you do it just like I did today for $1,000, which should have been $2,000, but I'm too busy doing other shit, you only have to hit one of those a week. You don't need a damn job. All right, so let me show it to you. All right, here we go. So this is ES. What's important to notice in this ES is that it blew across. This was interesting, okay? So it blew through the overnight open, just blew right through it after, 10:30. This was like 10:48. And so here we were playing reindeer games up here. And by the way, notice price came down, sat. I'm going to show you something. Let's just look for fun, okay? Let's just look for fun at something. I'm not telling you to take this trade, but I'm just telling you to look at a pattern. Price pushed down through, came back up, and sat right inside that 5-minute SMA, that 21 SMA, and look where it went to. It went right to the open. Okay, so we're going to look for the damn thing to do it in reverse, the other way. Okay, that's exactly what I did. So it came down and it rolled all the way down to here. So here we're at 74.50. Okay, we're at 74.50 down here. All right, get this damn thing out of the way. And then it started stair-stepping. Here's your 5-minute gold line. Boom, there's a trade. But it didn't pierce the low. Then it came back up, and then it didn't pierce that low. And then it came back up, and then it didn't pierce that low. Then it came back up, didn't pierce that low. Does anybody see the steps? Does anybody see this thing stepping? Step, 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 step. And then bam! Right there. Bam! Can I say bam? That was the blow up. It blew. We rolled up through the 5-minute red line, 21 SMA, and bam! And guess what it did? It rolled back over and it sat on this side of the 5-minute red line. And your boy Bob took along right here at, let's get this out. Full disclosure, I took this trade twice because I blew it up the first time. Again, I was on the phone dealing with stuff. So I took 2 contracts long going, this is it. This baby's running to the open. Okay, so I took it right here at 11 minutes after 1. I took the 12 minutes after 1. I took the long right there at 85.25. And I had my stop down below this pivot here. I wanted to give it a little bit of room. See that? Here's my pivot, and boom, I got ticked out. Ticked out. So I heard my computer tell me that I got stopped. And I'm like, shit. And I look over at the chart and I see this candle form, and it didn't disrespect the 5-minute red line because the price went back up inside it. You see that? See how the 5-minute red line price went right back up inside it? It went right back up inside it. So this thing came down, and all of a sudden I saw this huge green candle going, and I'm like, crap. And I jumped right in with 2 more contracts. And then I put my stop down here, left it, and I walked away. Okay? So here we go. We're waiting for price to go. And then bam, it just gone. And there I got out at 13 ticks. 13 points. Because I was on the phone, I wasn't paying attention, and if I had been, I would have grabbed it and put it at the open. I wanted 10 points minimum for the trade, and I wanted to recoup my 3 points I lost over here. So initially, after I entered the trade, I put this at 13 points. That's exactly 13 points up from my entry. But if I'd have been paying attention instead of sitting here dealing with all my other stuff going on in my business, I would have grabbed that thing easily, because all the signs were there that this thing was going to run that other 10 points. Actually, 11 points. 11 points to the overnight open. Sometimes I just don't know what to do with myself. I can see the best trades in the world and still screw them up myself. So anyways, what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you an example of one that I took in oil a couple days ago, I think it was. I think so. I think it was Tuesday. So, going down my little punch list of things. All right, here's 12 o'clock. So here's oil. Hold on here. Here's oil. You had a big rundown. Hold on here. Let me get this thing to work. So you had a big run. Well, you actually had an overnight open rejection up here. Look at that. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Man, I hope somebody made some money off that in our group. But anyways, this thing pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, pushed down. And then we had a run up. Now remember, this is 11:24. What was my rule? What's my rule? After 12. Rolls down, pushes, rolls up. This is 11:51. Nope. Then it rolled down, and then we got to 12. So it's 12 o'clock right here. And I'm seeing signs, because 1, 2, 3. Remember my 1, 2, 3 rule? I'm seeing signs that this is going to work. So we stepped, and then bam. And we pulled back to the gold line. Let me check this out here. Now I'm going to tell you I didn't make a lot of money on this trade, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. So I entered right here. I took the break of that candle. I was in at 76.40. The top of that candle right here so everybody who knows it was at 12.24. We blew up through the pivot here, rolled back to the 5-minute red line, and it was this one's easy to manage, because we want to respect the red line. It's after 12. We want to respect the red line. We want to play this damn thing back to the open. So I'm in at 76.40. My stop's down here. Then the thing rolls up. My stop's right here. Things rolls up again. My stop's following this. This thing rolls up, and I'm still in it. And it ran to 77.05. Okay, so that's 65 cents, which to every one of you here, that's $650 a contract. And I had 2 contracts on it. Now let me show you the rest of the story. There's the overnight open right here. The overnight open is only 30 more ticks. And the son of a bitch rolled over. Now, I want to, for full disclosure, you guys may remember this was the day, and I was in this trade, and I was texting another trader saying, he got out somewhere in here. I called the trade, he took it, and he got out somewhere over here. I said, hell no, I'm riding this thing to the open. Well, the market was just one of those days where I think the Dow was down $600 points that day. I mean, it just dragged the damn thing back down, and it didn't work. So I got knocked out somewhere in here. I ended up getting I got $360, 320 bucks, because I got 16 ticks a contract. But I was trying to get, from here. It should have worked. It should have worked on a normal day where the market itself is not tanking like a turd. This would have rolled right back up to that baby, and I would have made almost $1 a contract, $2,000. $2,000, and the worst I even risked on that oil trade was let's see here, probably maybe 15 ticks. Maybe 15 ticks. I love that trade. Anyways, study it, look at it, realize it. By the way, for those of you not paying attention, the open break trade that I talked about, go back and look at oil this week from 9 to 9:15 using your top and your bottom, and look what happened at 9:16. There's your tip for the day. Everybody have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.